good, everybody? So I decided to make this video in bed because I'm lazy and I'm tired. Today is January 9th, 2019. That's all I got. um, what did I say I was going to talk about in my last video? Like career and life events. Let me tell y'all, 2016 was garbage. Absolute garbage. 2017 was better. I was fortunate enough to join the Augusta University men's track and field team. I was able to throw the discus. I did pretty good. I made it all the way to the Peach Belt Conference, and I beat somebody out of the finals to make it into the finals, and I made 8th place. So that was a huge deal. It was a huge deal in general to be able to transfer over to the men's team and just talking to the people at the NCAA to get my name changed and my sport changed and my status changed, and then talking to the what's the person's name for, I forget who. Well, anyways, it was Miss K, the person in charge in athletics for eligibility, and just talking with her. The whole process was surreal, and it wouldn't happen without Coach Mac, Coach McCullough, my basketball and track, one of my track coaches from high school from Westside. The whole process was surreal, and then when it was actually happening, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really doing this. And I was so nervous, and it was great because in the beginning of the season, the whole track team had this LGBTQ meeting, and about not discriminating, not giving anybody shit for who they are, and it was fantastic. We did all these exercises. We had a long talk about different terms and the way different people identify, and really trying to educate the team. I could have taken that opportunity to come out to my teammates, but I didn't. For some reason, I just didn't feel it was necessary. But eventually, over this season, I did come out to my immediate teammates, my throwers, a few of them. Of course, my coaches. Well, my main coach. My main throwing coach, but the whole team. Eventually, everybody kind of found out because they kind of followed me on Instagram and they were talking amongst each other. And people would come up to me like, "I heard you play basketball at Georgia Southern." And I was like, "Yeah." I heard you're pretty good at Southern. I was like, "Yeah." But just the whole experience was surreal, and actually competing. Oh my gosh. I was so scared people were gonna see my chest, and my bottom area was not looking right when I would do certain movements. I was so terrified, but I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. So like I said, I did pretty well. I could have done better. I wanted to win. Of course, I love winning. I hate losing. But what I did was an accomplishment within itself. So I was just like, whatever, I'm doing it. It's happening. And I really missed that team environment. I missed being on the bus with my teammates, going to beat a bunch of other teams, and I missed cheering people on. Oh my gosh, when the races started, everybody's on the sidelines and cheering for people. It was great to feel that again. And when the season was over, I was really sad. I was like, dang, I could have did better. I was mad at my coach. I was like, you didn't push me hard enough. Or I feel like he betrayed me. I was like, I could have done better. I could have won, but it is what it is. But yeah, it was really cool and really scary, but I'm glad I did it. That was the end of my college athletic career ever. And it was a good note to end on. and then started the work career, like purely work, like no school, no athletics, just pure working. I was at Dillard's, and then I started working at Cold Stone to have a second job, and I got my car the year before, like the end of 2016. That I got my car, and that was a huge deal. That was pretty cool. That's my first car. I was 24. I was 24 when I got my first car. Chewy. And okay, so yeah, I was working at Dillard's and I was working at Cold Stone, and throughout the time, while I was at AU, I was working at Hilton Garden Inn, and I need to tell a story about what happened at Hilton Garden Inn too, but that has to do more with my transition. So I was working at Hilton Garden Inn, I was on the track team, and then I started training to be a firefighter. That was really cool. So I ended up having to quit Hilton Garden Inn because it was just too much. I was starting to like sleep in and then miss the time that I was supposed to be at work. I was doing night audit, so I would work the 11 to 7 shift, but I was like so tired. I was like sleeping and I would miss my alarm and I would wake up at like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning and I was supposed to be at work. And I was like, oh shit, I can't do this to these people. So I ended up putting in my 2 weeks and I quit, and I focused mainly on training to be a firefighter and track and school. So after the season was over, it was like May-ish, I started working at Dillard's again because I needed some money. Season was over, and then I picked up another job. And in the meantime, I'm still training to be a firefighter. And what else? Oh yeah, and I started working at Cold Stone. And then time came around, like I passed a whole bunch of tests to be a firefighter, and then the nicotine test came around, and I had tried to stop smoking my blacks like 3 weeks before the test. I was like, yeah, I'll be good. It'll be out of my system. No. So I failed the nicotine test, and I didn't become a firefighter. But I had already put in my 2 weeks at Dillard's because I was just like, oh yeah, I'm finna get in here. I'm finna be a firefighter. Did not happen. So I had to follow another plan, and I tried to join the military. I tried to join the Army. Certain things happened. They said I could join if I enlisted as female, and I was just like, no. The fuck? No. But then I was like, okay, bitch, I'm hungry. I need food. Like, so I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care, but everybody else is gonna care. And I was like, get me in. So I like shaved all of my body hair. All of my body hair. Like, all of my body hair. And I got through MEPS. My job was gonna be like fixing helicopters or something like that. When I first picked it out, and then I changed it. I was like, no, let me do Intel. So I got through MEPS, and that was an experience. Having somebody look at my genitals like something was wrong with it, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I had to tell a bunch of people. I had to like yell at them like, I'm a girl. Like, I felt like I was in high school again. I was just like really trying to play the part. Like, yeah, I'm a girl. No, I even had to get my own hotel room like separate because they put me with a male roommate. And I was like, I'm a girl. I'm not supposed to be with this guy. Oh, it was something else. So basically, I made it through MEPS, but they wanted me to take a test, and I had stopped taking the hormones for like 2 months prior to that because that's what was part of the discussion, so that I wouldn't test positive for like high testosterone. And my period started back, motherfuckers. So I did all that for nothing. Like I would have gotten in, but I was just like, nah. And then I was scared for a little while, like the military was gonna come after me and then send me to jail because I tried to join, and I never came back. I still feel like they're gonna come get me one of these days. But anyways, I only did it because I needed the money, and then Trump was like, trans people can't join the military. And I was like, who the fuck you talking to? And it's like a whole bunch of other stuff. But I did not come back because I knew if I were to get in, I would continue to be treated like a woman, and I would have to continue to put up a facade every single day to be a woman. I have to shave every fucking day and pretend I was tired. It was too much. It was going to be too much. I was like, no, I'm not going back. So then I ended up getting another job at a hotel, the Hilton Garden, not the Hilton Garden, Home Two, and I worked there for like 8 months going into 2018. Ended up catching feelings for somebody and a whole bunch of other shit that was unnecessary. Like it was too much, too much life. So I quit there. Then I ended up working at Xmart, which was really cool in the beginning, because who doesn't like sex and sex products and being able to say like, yeah, I work at a sex store. But then it got really, really boring. Like, I wanted to kill myself. It was so boring. Sorry, I didn't say a trigger warning about that. Like, that was a joke, but in all honesty, I was bored out of my mind. The people were cool, except for one person in particular. She was really irritating for some reason. And she was really problematic, too. And then they were paying me bullshit, so I ended up quitting there, too. And I got another job at the Residence Inn. That was a mistake. So I was trying to work both of those jobs. And eventually, I quit the Xmart and then just stuck with Residence Inn. Yeah, that was a mistake. Like, it was cool in the beginning, but then people started really showing their true colors. Leadership was terrible. They weren't treating the people right. People had holes in their uniforms that needed to be replaced. They were working ridiculous hours. In my position, I was a houseman, so I was getting harassed and a whole bunch of other stuff. And, I would tell the leadership, like, yo, what the fuck? And eventually I got fired because I was just tired of the bullshit. So I started acting out. I started not responding in a professional manner to my supervisor. I refused. The day I got fired, I actually got escorted out of the building by the corporate people, and because I refused to use a walkie-talkie that my supervisor had been using it to like harass me. I was like, I'm not using that shit. And she kept trying to get in touch with me, so she sent somebody to come get me to do a job to take me away from the job that I was already doing, which is a whole part of the problem. And I was like, no, I'm not using my walkie-talkie. And they're like, well, you're gonna get sent home. I was like, I don't care. Like, I'm doing my job. What they're trying to do with the walkie-talkie is bully me, so I'm not using that shit. And then they was like, okay, you can go home. I was like, whatever. So let me go talk to the manager, because I'm not finna go home for doing my job and not doing what you were trying to get me to do, because you're just being an ass. And the manager was not trying to back me, so it was just a whole shit show. So I ended up getting escorted out of the building by like 2 people from corporate, my manager, a supervisor, and another person that worked in the main office. And like one of the corporate people like stood at the entrance of the door to the hotel to make sure that I left the premises, and they told me not to come back until they called me, and they asked me if I had all my personal belongings. That was a first. I've never been fired from a job ever in my whole life, so that was an experience. And then immediately after that, I started working at Texas Roadhouse, and I got to wear a cowboy hat, and the food was fucking good. Like, I got free food for like the first week. And then after that, I was like, what am I doing with my life? I can't be doing this shit. I mean, nothing against them. It's just like, I have bigger goals that I'm trying to accomplish, and this is not helping. And then people started trying me in different ways. I was like, I'm not in high school. I'm a grown ass person. Like, the fuck? So I stopped going. Like, I literally pulled into the parking lot of Texas Roadhouse with my uniform on. I sat in the parking lot for like 5 minutes, sitting there thinking, like, you know what? I don't want to be here. I don't like working here. Fuck this. And then I drove off, and I never came back. And people were texting and calling me, like, where are you at? Are you okay? I was just like, I did not respond. I didn't want anything to do with Texas Roadhouse anymore. So if any of my previous coworkers are watching this, sorry I left you hanging, but I'm all about me right now. And fuck that job. So now I'm trying to do my own thing. That's pretty much it. Job and career wise. Oh, and at one point in like 2017, yeah, it was 2017, I got into Augusta School of Massage. So I was going to be a massage therapist, but I couldn't afford it. So I had to tell them, sorry, I can't do it. Yeah, that was it. It's pretty eventful, pretty shitty career-wise past 2 years. But things are looking up. I'm always optimistic. I always got something up my sleeve. Because the end result is going to be something super amazing. And all of this is going to be worth it. So I'm not even stressed. Well, I'm stressed, but I'm not focusing on the stress. What else? Talked about career. I'll save life events for the next video because a lot of them are pretty sad, and a lot of them might make people angry when they hear about it, but such is life. C'est la vie. But I'll see you guys in the next video.